new technologies are actually transformative to study women's health, because they are allowing us to study the cells, which are the building blocks of the body. And this means that we can then disentangling the complexity of the system and also studying them in humans. For example, the single-cell transcriptomics, which, as I said, it really allows us to look for the single cells, which are these biological building blocks. So then, again, that really transform everything that one can think about if we can go to the unit, the fundamental unit of life. In addition to all the genomics, also there are all these in vitro models and organoids, which basically allow us to have a simplified version of the tissue in a dish. And that really recapitulates specific functions, and that means that we can make perturbations, for example, drug testing or gene editing, things that, of course, we cannot do it in humans. So really, as a conclusion, there is a new kind of era for women's health thanks to the technologies, including all the single-cell technologies that are more and more scalable, and all the in vitro models that are being developed.
The area of whole genome sequencing is going to be really important for understanding the genetic architecture of female-specific traits. So, our ability to be able to sequence the whole genome at scale in large population-based studies were really important for understanding the natural variation within populations around things such as hormone variation or infertility, for instance. And then also access to linkage to a lot of medical records or GP records, hospital record data is going to be really important for understanding many of the phenotypes that aren't generally collected in some of these large biobanks. And also being able to assay at scale things like the entire proteome in many individuals. So perhaps to identify markers of disease much earlier on in a woman's life, to be able to predict, perhaps in combination with genomic data, to be able to predict early onset of some of these conditions and to start to treat them at a much earlier stage.